Wonderful. Hello, everyone. My name is Felix. This is Sascha. We are from a company called Breuninger, which is a luxury and fashion retailer in southern Germany. And we're here to tell you a story about evolution of authentication. Our journey with Keycloak, the Red Hat managed, provided SSO OpenShift, open source identity platform. So thanks on the speaker just right now, because everything he told you is maybe the same we want to tell you. So it's all about DevSecOps, and yeah, we will guide you through that. Every good journey starts with origin. And our origin is we are a company older than 100 years. We have our first starting days when selling stuff was on-site. But today we have another world. So yeah, we come from a fragmented landscape of services which grows over the years. We have inconsistent authentication strength all over the places. We have challenges in on and offboarding. So we had a quite big growth last years, and onboarding people is a day-to-day business, offboarding as well. And all of this is a pain, or had been a pain. There's so much manual work for our help desk and support personnel. So imagine some new employee starts in the company, and you have to talk to the help desk that you need an account. You have to talk to them, you have to get some groups and permissions for all these apps. All of these has been manual work, which was error-prone, and so on and so on. You know that. And of course, we had lack of meaningful audit trails. So because all of these scattered landscape of services, there was no real audit trail about who has access to what, who was logged in where, and so on and so on. The pure hell for compliance guys. So yeah, that's quite normal, I would say, in mid-sized to small startups. But all of these has its origins in a time when we had BlackBerries and Lotus Notes. So yeah, we're a bit old company. Yeah, but there's more. So today, everybody's talking about the cool new authentication standards. You may have heard about passkeys, you heard about MFA, all of this phishing-resistant methodologies to make IT security more secure or better. And yeah, we have limited to no utilization of multi-factor, and we didn't have any chance to implement it. We had dependencies on global LDAP groups, which were reused for everything because they just were there, and it was hard to create new ones. So all of these wasn't good. We had no implementation of least privilege, which is maybe the worst thing of all of that. So yeah, that's all pretty bad. That's the antithesis of modern IT security. So maybe some of you now say, I know that. So just a quick call to action. Who of you experienced a situation where you had no security, or at least no least privilege? Hands up, who knows that? Okay, quite some guys. So all of that sounds really bad, and everybody told us it's not solvable. You can't resolve such a mess. Yeah, the good thing here is there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And we are here to guide you through this journey, how you can resolve such an issue or such a project. So we had a vision, and we called this project Breuninger ID. So we don't want to call it Keycloak because it's a technical frame or phrase. We want to have something more catchy, so we called it Breuninger ID, and everybody can say, okay, this is my digital employee card. I can use it. There are some ideas we want to implement. So this was a vision. We want to have transition from the old LDAP protocol to OpenID Connect and SRML. So modern delegated authentication, no login via quiet unsecure LDAP, which is also not capable of doing nice multi-factor authentication. One really important thing, we also want to have end-to-end self-service from onboarding to offboarding. So like I told you, the help desk, they were the main organization for managing people, and that's not good, because when Sascha is starting at a company, I write a ticket to someone who should decide if Sascha has access to an application they don't know. That just doesn't make sense. They can't know it. It's not fair for them. So our most interesting request for the whole company maybe was we want to give back responsibility for security and authentication to the tenants, to the application owners. Of course, we want to have a consistent login experience in times of multi-factor authentication, or especially in times of phishing. You get an email, you got a login screen, and someone asks you, oh, maybe put your credentials there. It's safe. Yeah, obviously, it's safe. No. Want to rule them all? We heard it on the last slides, on our last talk. There should be one last login platform, which is secure by default and managed by us, and no yet another service where you can put your credentials in. We want to implement self-managed client roles to replace these global LDAP groups. So yeah, in fact, we don't know what your application needs on roles and what security measurements you need. You as an application owner, as a developer, you can know it. We don't know it. Our job is to provide a platform where you can manage it in a self-service manner, so we can get rid of all these global groups and get back to a least privileged group or role implementation where you have full control. So we have least privilege by default. And yeah, last but not least, multi-factor authentication. We want to have modern authentications. We maybe want to have passwordless logins, all of the fancy new stuff. We couldn't do that in our first deployments. Yeah, and the answer of all of these issues is Keycloak. Keycloak is open source. Keycloak is an identity management platform provided by Red Hat. Most of you maybe know it. You can just install it on Kubernetes. We use it on Kubernetes in containers and run it. So this was more about the vision. Now I will head over to Sascha. He will tell you about what we implemented and why Keycloak is the right fit for giving back the responsibilities to the users and the developers.
Thank you. So in the upcoming slides, I'm going to talk about how we successfully streamlined responsibilities, ensuring that everyone is tasked with roles they are genuinely equipped to manage. What experience does an operator typically possess? I'd say it is conducting maintenance activities, such as updating software and its dependencies to ensure reliability and performance. To keep track of all the dependencies like container, operator lifecycle manager, Maven, etc., and their updates, we're using Renovate. Renovate automatically opens merge requests in our Git repository for every update. We have automated pipelines and tests in place that will automatically test every merge request. For minor and patch updates, if the pipeline succeeds, the merge request will automatically be merged to master. On the master branch, a new release will automatically be produced using semantic release. This release is going to be deployed to production automatically. To identify potential issues and to ensure critical problems do not go unnoticed, we set up fine-tuned monitoring system. We are using Prometheus and Grafana for that purpose. We keep track of logins per client, HTTP errors, login errors, and the response times. If, for example, the login rate goes up really quickly, we fire an alert so the operator can make sure Keycloak still behaves. The developers are the ideal choice for client onboarding, thanks to the in-depth knowledge of IDC and SAML implementations, which ensures a seamless and tailored integration for each client. A well-defined user model, complete with consistent attributes, ensures a more organized and efficient onboarding experience. To simplify this process, we developed a solution named the Client Factory, where a developer can submit their client configuration by creating a pull request. We utilized JSON schema to establish a Kubernetes-style manifest for clients, ensuring structured and consistent client configurations. Clients can be categorized as either managed or unmanaged. Managed clients are fully configured via these manifests, offering a hands-off approach for seamless integration. Unmanaged clients, on the other hand, receive only the essential setup from the factory. leaving the finer details of configuration to the application owner's discretion. Only application owners has the necessary insight to reasonably determine access privileges for their application, making them uniquely qualified for this responsibility. Neither help desk nor operators are equipped to make these decisions. Using fine-grained permissions, the onboarding and probably more important, the offboarding can be done using Keycloak console. As an application owner, you probably do not want to grant equal rights to everyone, and that's fine as long as there's a technical reason for that. Using Keycloak, the application owner can do that himself. So you want your users to not reuse credentials on multiple user bases, right? Classic LDAP integrations make it hard for the user to figure out whether to use their company credentials or when they need to use individual credentials. So this should be the last login screen an employee at Breuninger should ever face. The login will always be under the same URL, and whenever he's confronted with a different type of login form, he should immediately get suspicious. So employees get enabled to update their personal information like their name or the preferred language, though honestly, it usually makes more sense to update things like the name via the HR department, I think. Well, at least the user can change their password and add multi-factor devices like TOTP and passkeys themselves.
Yeah, thanks. Let's get to a conclusion. We are on this journey for 2.5, 3 years now. We started from this global mess of insecure applications. Today, we've reached about 80 to 90% migration of all of our relevant applications to Keycloak. So for 90% of the logins, our employees see it's true, it's the last login form they ever will see. And that's cool. So yeah, we implemented security through road streamlining. So in fact, everybody in the process now controls what they're responsible for and what they can manage. They don't have to manage stuff they don't know. They don't have to manage stuff they can't decide. So everybody is in a comfortable situation where they can make efficient decisions. The key of this implementation is automation. We can have a secure by default environment because we can patch on every minor and every patch release. From time to time, there are major releases. That's the issue with Keycloak. You can't do major release updates at the moment in a zero downtime fashion. We're working on that, but in most of the cases, we just have a patch deployed when it's there. And we don't have to do anything for that. That's cool. And yeah, we have user-centric security. So the user is in charge of their credentials. They are in charge of their second factor, of their passkeys. They don't need everybody to reset passwords, write a ticket, and so on. This streamlines our whole organization to be more efficient and to be more secure. So yeah, Keycloak, in fact, is the foundation of all of this success because it helps us to implement these ideas. It helps us to make some extensions in it to build stuff we need for our own data, which are not that common, but it really helps us to get rid of old bad security. And the good thing about that is you can do it too because it's open source. So if somebody tells you you can't break up the security mess, we prove them wrong. You can do it.